Taking it down to 3,000 here, Munster.
The flash 160 at night.
Eurocopter S350.B3 Ecureuil, catastrophe. Cabra Corral reservoir, Salta, Argentina. The Ecureuil crashed into a riverbed, killing 2 on board, reportedly after a wire strike with a Tyrolean traverse or zip wire. One of them was Jorge Brito, former president of Banco Macro. The helicopter was flying from Las Costas farm towards Joaquin. Cirrus SR22 crash near Mayaguana Airport, Bahamas. The aircraft force landed in a wooded area after a CAPS ballistic recovery system parachute deployment following an engine failure. The pilot was unhurt and rescued by a helicopter. Humbert Tetras crash. Jaboulet, Tain, Hermitage, France. After an engine failure, the pilot of an ultralight performed an emergency landing and landed the plane in a vineyard. Both occupants were not injured. Flying Maschines FM250 Vampire II, catastrophe. Near Ronneberg, Germany. A light aircraft crashed on farmland near Grossenstein and near the Highway A4 for unknown reasons. The airplane burnt down and the sole pilot received fatal injuries. Piper PA-32-160 Warrior II crash. Pointe-à-Pitre International Airport, Guadeloupe. A 17-year-old girl crashed on the runway at the Pole-Caraïbes Airport. The accident took place on landing. The pilot is slightly injured. In order to carry out the rescue and investigation operations, the runway had to be closed. Cessna 210-5 crash near San Lorenzo, Peru. The skill of the pilot of the Ruiz Air Services, SARU, aircraft made it possible to avoid the tragedy on the banks of the Maranon River, opposite the town of San Lorenzo, located in the province of Datum del Marañón in Loreto. 4 passengers and the pilot were not injured during the forced landing at a short distance from the airfield in this jurisdiction. The pilot, realizing a technical malfunction, and seeing that he did not have time to get to the runway, decided to go down to the wide beach of the Maranon River, where the sand softened the blow. Beechcraft 200 King Air, crash. Sion Airport, Switzerland. The plane, which was supposed to land at the Sion Airport, has a landing gear failure. The pilots had to return to the departure airfield. In an attempt to repair the damage, and burn as much fuel as possible to reduce weight, and reduce the risk of fire on landing, the plane flew in the Vala sky for almost 4 hours, accompanied by 2 F-18s from the Swiss Army. Landing with the front landing gear was successful, no one was hurt. Lancair Legacy FG, catastrophe. North Perry Airport, Hollywood, Florida, USA. Following a loss of engine power, the aircraft, an experimental Glen E. long-built Legacy FG, experienced an apparent approach stall, and subsequent impact with airport terrain during an attempted return to the point of departure at North Perry Airport. The airplane was destroyed in the accident, and the sole pilot on board received fatal injuries. Grob G-120A-I, catastrophe. Near Mishner Hadagiv, Beersheba, Israel. An IF Grob light trainer crashed into an open field near Beersheba, Israel, and was completely destroyed by fire after the crash. 2 pilots were mortally wounded. PA-32-260 Cherokee Six, crash. Near Donaldson Field Airport, Greenville, South Carolina, USA. While practicing touch-and-go landings, the aircraft sustained substantial damage upon impact with a smokestack and the terrain southwest of Donaldson Field Airport. The two occupants on board received unspecified injuries.
Beechcraft V35 Bonanza, catastrophe.
Deltaville, Middlesex County, Virginia, USA. The aircraft impacted a residential structure and the terrain in northwest Deltaville. The airplane was partially consumed by the subsequent fire, and the sole pilot on board received fatal injuries. There were no reported injuries on the ground. Piper PA-32-300 Cherokee Six, crash. Venetian Bay, New Smyrna Beach, Florida, USA. Following a loss of engine power, the aircraft ditched to the waters of a shallow residential development lake in Venetian Bay. The airplane came to rest partially submerged, sustaining substantial water damage, and the two occupants on board received apparent minor injuries. Airport, Russia. The Mi-8 helicopter, when taxiing to the parking lot in Volgograd, touched the lighting mast with its blades. The cause of the incident was that the aircraft's commander lost control. In this case, no one was injured, but both the helicopter and the lighting structure were damaged. ATR 42-300, crash. Mayaguana Airport, Canada. Air Flight 464, an ATR-42, suffered a runway excursion into the snow after landing. MiG-29K, catastrophe. Arabian Sea, India. An Indian Navy MiG-29K crashed under unknown circumstances in the Arabian Sea. One crew member ejected safely, another is missing. Search operations are being conducted. Airbus A300, failed takeoff. Brussels Airport, Belgium. Failed takeoff Airbus A300 DHL resulting in overheated brakes. As a result, the main gear tires deflated. There were no personal injuries.